Welcome to Video Maker,
the podcast that cuts past the highlight reel and takes you straight into the raw behind-the-scenes stories of creatives and makers. I'm Carly, founder of The Good Vibe Media, a woman-owned and operated video production agency and a creative studio space. Every week on Video Maker, I sit down with filmmakers, creators, and creative entrepreneurs for a deep, honest conversation you don't typically hear. The late nights, the pivots, the breakdowns that shape the breakthroughs. These are the conversations and stories that make people like me and so many other creatives need to hear. This is a space for growth, for lessons, for community, a place where we learn from each other's real, unfiltered journeys. This is Video Maker. Let's get rolling. Welcome to another episode of Video Maker. I am your host, Carly, and today's guest is Gillean. Gillean is a media dietitian, serial entrepreneur, and mom of 3. She co-owns a media mentorship business called Expert with Influence and loves to partner with brands to bring their message to life through TV segments, social media content, recipe development, and writing. She has been seen on platforms like ABC, NBC, 12 News, Shape, MyFitnessPal, and so much more. We have worked together on numerous projects over the years, and I am so excited to dive into her story today. Welcome, Gillean.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I feel like we're just like on your couch at your house.
I know, genuinely. This is great. We should do this more often.
Yes, I love it.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, I'm so honored that you asked me, honestly. We've been, like you said, we've been on a journey for a long time, seeing each other's growth. So it's just cool to be a part of it.
It's really cool. I think my favorite part of this process, and I know we're so new into launching this podcast, but it's cool because I feel like behind the scenes doing all this creative work together, we have the most amazing conversations, experiences, like tap into so much that it's cool to now put it on a platform where we can share that with so many others.
Totally. There's something about you guys, like as soon as I'm in the room with you, I just like spill every deep, dark secret of my life, every challenge I'm having, anything like personal, business, whatever. But I think it's just a safe space.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to be met with help. So,
well, get ready because we got a juicy conversation for you coming up. Let's dive in. Okay. Well, before we dive in, I want to do some rapid fire questions first. Okay. So first one is, what was the first thing that you ever made that you were super proud of?
Ooh, I would say I created a program called the 21-Day Diet Reset. Sounds so silly now, but I was really proud of myself for just putting myself out there. It was my first entrepreneurial experience where I was diving into selling something that was just me. I had to figure out all like, how do people even pay me? How do I organize this? So it was really cool to put myself out there and try it.
And when was that? When did you?
Oh gosh, that was like in 2018, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you working?
I was still working full time.
Okay.
Full-time gig. There's actually a little drama there because I actually at my job at one point, some of the people on the team thought I was like recruiting customers through my program. And I was like, I actually got called in to the CEO's office about it. And I was like literally so scared. And they were like, I was just sharing it on my social media. And they were like, some people feel like you're recruiting customers. And I was like, first of all, no one has signed up yet. So I don't even know who thinks I'm like getting all these customers because no one has joined. And of course, afterwards, I left the office and like cried my balls out in the executive bathroom. It was the only bathroom that was like it was just, you could lock the door behind you.
Oh my God.
So I learned so much through that one program. And that's also a lesson I learned too, of just like, it was like the universe being like, get out of this corporate life. You are not meant for this. I just had so many nudges. And that was one that was just like, my intentions are so pure. I'm so like really just trying something out here. And it was like, okay, I hear you, universe. I'll do it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. This one is, what's your daily fuel? Is it coffee, tea, or something stronger?
Coffee in the morning, another coffee in the afternoon, wine at night.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Rinse, repeat. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Okay. Your creative environment. Where do you feel the most creative? Is it your desk, a plane, shower, somewhere else?
For me, I just have to have silence. Like, I'm not someone that wants to have like music on, TV on, nothing. If I can just like be by myself, I can come up with really great ideas, brainstorm ideas, journal, reading. I just feel like my brain explodes with like just dreams of what I want to do. So when I work during the day, I'm sitting at a desk in my office, and I have, it's all decorated nice, so it has the vibe. I do love working on a plane though. No distractions, no laundry, no kids. So like, usually when I go on the plane, my husband wants to like watch a movie or something, and I'm like, nope, like laptop out, maybe order a cocktail, nothing better than a laptop, a little cocktail, and just like power through all your stuff.
I could not agree more. And I was going to say, you mentioned your kids. I'm like, how do you find that silence every so often?
Yes, so I have 3 kiddos, 8, 6, and 3. So I'm a morning person, total early bird. So I get up, like my alarm is usually 5. So I at least get, 30 minutes to an hour of time where it's just me. And sometimes it is reading, journaling in the morning. Sometimes it is like, oh, I want to get that project done or whatever. So I'm working. But that little space, like that is so sacred to me, just that morning time where I get to do whatever I want. It's just
my
perfect.
gosh. I am so with you on that too. I know our youngest are very close in age, and I'm the same way. I have to wake up at 5 because my family wakes up at 6, and I have that 1 hour where my team is always like, oh, the emails start coming in at 5 a.m. I'm like, yeah, well, that's when I have my quiet time. So I can actually focus.
Yeah, I have brand partners too that are like on the East Coast. They're like, oh, we're surprised that you're responding right now. I'm like, oh, I'm up. Yeah. No worries. I got it.
I love that. Okay, who is someone that you would drop everything to collaborate with, and why? Dream collaboration. It could be a person, brand.
I'm just thinking my dream, and I'm like really trying to like focus on getting there really tactfully now, is the Today Show. I've always wanted to be on the Today Show. You guys have 5 million videos of me saying this. Every podcast I say this too, but like I actually am in one of our friends, Lindsay. She has a like a mastermind group right now called The Upgrade, and it was really focusing on visibility and like your goals. And a lot of I've always wanted to be on the Today Show, but she said something that really stood out to me. She's like, we have these big goals, but are we actually like doing things to get there? Or are we just being like, oh, I really want that. I really want that. I really want that. And it's like, am I looking for the producers? Am I pitching regularly? Am I not pitching just one producer? All the producers? Who knows? Like, am I reaching out to friends in the media space and saying, this is my dream and goal? Do you have any advice, any contacts? So that would be literally drop dead dream. I don't even want to like be a host. I just want to have a segment on the show. Nutrition, obviously. So yesterday actually on our call, we had like 10 minutes left of our call with Lindsay, and someone asked the question like, hey, I'm just like procrastinating. Like I'm just not taking the steps. I had this list of all these producers' emails, and I was like, literally in my head, I was like, the same thing. Like, I'm just not doing it. I looked at the date. It was like September 19th when it got sent to me. And I was like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I have these like 10 minutes left on the call. Like I'm goodbye. Like I'm not joining last 10 minutes, and I'm gonna go write these pitches. So I did. I'd like just spent as many as I could in 10 minutes. I just wrote pitches very like succinctly. Usually I want to be perfectionist and like make these huge, amazing pitches. It was just like, hey, I had this idea. I make cool mom point recipes. I'm going to be amazing. Your audience is going to love it. Let's do it. It was super short and sweet, but just throwing it out there. So let's go. Yeah, that's the dream. I would love to do that.
Every single time I hear you say that dream, though, I visualize it so clearly. Yeah. Like I can see it so vividly.
I literally I meant to be there, you guys. Like 100%. I will fit right in. Like I actually, years ago, I won this contest. It was 12 News locally here. It was when the Today Show came for the Super Bowl because they were going to be here, and they did a contest for a Today Show superfan, and of course I won. And so I got to go like behind the scenes when they recorded here and meet like Savannah, who's a pie fi just like me, and like Al was drinking this green drink. Like I remember it so vividly, and it's like there's so many moments in my career, and there's like a dozen more where I'm like so close to it. Like I literally can touch it, and I'm just like, we all know it's like the inner work and this attracting and your energy, which is going to get you to that ultimate thing. So,
but all these breadcrumbs, they're just leading to that big moment that will happen very soon. Okay. And I can't wait to play back this podcast episode and all the others that say, see, she knew it was going to happen.
They have like the most amazing like reels. Can be like, here's 12 million times when I said I want to.
This is manifestation in action. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Are you well, you kind of already talked about this, a morning person or a night owl?
Definitely morning person, but I love, a good night out with my girlfriend. Like so fun. Like going to Buck and Ryder, oysters, champagne. Like I love a good bougie night like that. So
speaking my language.
Yeah, for sure. I struggle now with the mornings after these nights. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm just like, this is rough, but it's still fun.
But they are fun every once in a while. Okay, if your entrepreneurial journey had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh, entrepreneurial journey. Well, I'm a positive Polly, so it's got to be like a poppy fun song. And yeah, gosh, that's a really great question. Wait, do you have a song that you would pick for me?
I love how you're turning.
I don't know. I'm like, wait, hold on.
I know. I'm trying to think.
You know what? It's so funny is I'm so bad at like artist names, song names. Like if you tell me, like Eric will be like, "What's the actor in that movie?" I'm like, no clue.
No,
Like I just am not great at
know
that.
the face.
Okay,
but
so I'll
not the
go with the
name.
vibe of the song. It's gonna be
Yeah.
something poppy, catchy. Definitely have like dance to it, right?
Yeah.
It's something that you
Yeah.
can kind of like dance to.
Mhm.
And it's gonna bring a good vibe. I feel like that's I'm almost positive to a fault sometimes, but in the end I always feel like it's always a great quality to have. It always pulls me through in the tough times. So something fun, something poppy, something you can dance to.
Yes. Who's that artist, Nikki? That's so Olivia Dean. Is that who's so popular right now? I feel like Nikki's singing it. Yes, I feel like Olivia Dean is kind of like trending right now.
Okay,
And
go with
yeah,
that.
there's a good feel.
Okay.
Feel for that. We should rock some after this episode and see if
Okay.
it's aligning. Okay, last one. What is one thing about your creative process that people would be surprised to know about?
Ooh, for me, I'm someone that when I like have an idea, I have to sleep on it. So as much as I'm like, I feel like I'm spontaneous, I've actually learned about myself, I'm really not that spontaneous. Like I need time to like absorb it and really feel like, is this the right thing for me? So I'll have ideas, but I need to just like, I usually, even if I get like an email for like they're asking for something or like a idea for a reel or a recipe or something, I can't just send it right away. I have to like take my time to really think through it. Like I'm a big like wake up the next morning and I'm like super clear on things. So as much as I feel like I'm like a go, 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 all this stuff I do in my creative process have to like really take time to see if it feels right. Yeah.
Yeah, marinate in it. Have you done your human design?
Oh yeah,
That-
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a manifesting generator, Manny Gen.
Okay, wait, tell us a little bit about that because
Yeah.
maybe some people are like, human design, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. It's one of those like personality tests.
Yeah.
It's based on your birth date, place of birth, and time of birth, I think. And I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, but I feel like learning what my human design has changed so many things. In fact, even just the idea of like sleeping on a decision is like so true to me. As a manifesting generator, I love to come up with ideas. I love doing 5 million things. And I think the fault is that sometimes we get bored with stuff and we don't follow through in the end. So that can be challenging. But also it's giving me a lot of permission. I feel like knowing my human design has been like, that's just how I am. And maybe not everyone is going to operate the same way I do. Like I have such high energy. I can just keep going. I feel like I wake up and my eyes open and I just stay open the whole day. And then I like go to bed and like just crash, die, like literally hit the pillow. And,
One or the other.
yeah, I do not have like any trouble sleeping. So as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm like, I'm out. So it's just like I love the creative process. I love trying new things. I love I'm definitely like you said, serial entrepreneur in my intro. It's so true, and it's gotten worse or better as I've gotten more experience. I love to say yes to stuff. And for a while I felt like, I need to say no to more things. Like I do need time and space. I know that is important to me too, but there's also part of me that is meant to just keep going and try new things out. And like, I feel like I can provide a lot of value in areas. So I just love to collaborate and build things, and I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah. I remember when I was pregnant with my son and you had an event, I think it was with your podcast.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned something along the lines of like, yes, you can have it all.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember being pregnant. We had just opened the studio and I was kind of in this mentality of like, can I do all of this?
Yeah.
You know, and that was a moment where it just like, I'll never forget it. I was like, yep, Gillean said.
Can have it all,
Yeah, you're just such a beautiful example of that.
Yeah.
Like being able to live so fully in all aspects of your life.
I mean, it doesn't mean it's hard, right? There's moments,
sure.
but I don't want to sacrifice. I want all the things. I want the cute house. I want the cute clothes. I want the thriving business. I want the close family. I want the best friends, so I'm just like not willing to like sacrifice any of it.
Yeah, I love that about you. That's so awesome.
Wait, what's your human design?
Manifesting generator,
duh.
of course. No, same. We're having our whole team do the Enneagram, human design. We're like diving deep into the personality stuff within our team. But I just recently did a whole like workshop on human design to dive deeper into like manifesting generator. And I'm like, man, I want my family. Like I want this with my whole family.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. I wonder, like, I haven't even done it. Like, I think you can do Enneagram, even human design for your kids too. Like, I'm
Totally.
so curious, like, what are
And would it change?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious if you, I don't know, it
different
probably
parts of
doesn't.
it, like, well, I'm sure like probably different parts of it like show up in different phases of your life.
Yeah.
Right. You
like
know,
the hormonal change of like
Yeah.
the 13-year-old daughter that I have right now. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
so scared for that. I'm so
Yeah, just wait.
yeah. I feel like I see like little glimpses of it, and I'm like, ooh, what's that?
There it
What's
is. Yep. It is such a navigation. Okay, well, I want to talk about kind of the start of your first really creative spark. Like let's go back. I know you said you were working in corporate for a
Yeah.
while, and when you stepped away, take us through that journey
Yeah.
of what that looked like.
So when I always knew I wanted to do something else. Like I loved my job. It was so great. I loved the people I worked with. Like I remember when I first started working there, it was at a health and wellness company. I started in R&D first, and then I moved to sales and marketing. And I just remember we would all get there and like we just worked like from like 7 a.m. to like 6 p.m. and it was so fun. We just like loved it. So I loved everything I did there, but I always knew I wanted to do like something else. You know, there was like something on the side. And actually, I remember the moment when actually Lindsay, she was a part of that company, and we were doing a live stream. So we were like launching a product. It was a sports product.
Yeah.
So she was there, and she was kind of like telling how to sell it, and I was like the corporate host telling like the nutrition behind it. And in between our like live hits, her and I were just chatting, and she was saying like, oh, I have this like women's event. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way. I'm going to this event called Create and Cultivate in Chicago. Like you should totally come with me. Yeah. And fast forward, she like bought a ticket. We like flew. We really didn't know each other. We like met at the airport and like got to know each other on the plane. And then we get to my corporate team was paying for me to go. So I was like, hey, I have a hotel room if you want to stay. So we get to this tiny hotel room in Chicago, like king size bed. So we're like, well, we're sleeping together.
We're really going to get to know each other.
Close. But I remember going to that event, and I remember seeing her talking to the other girls of like, yeah, I have this business, I have this event. And I remember being like, oh, I want that so bad. Like, I don't want to be like, hi, I'm here to like do like research for my corporate company. I was just like, I remember just being like almost a little bit jealous of like, dang, I really want to be able to do that. And I didn't really know what that meant though. That was the challenge of like, how do I do that? Yeah. How do I, and so mentioning like the 21-day diet reset, that was one of my first like, okay, what if I host a nutrition program, But I remember that feeling of just like, oh, I really want this. And how do I get there? That's when it like was in the back of my mind for the rest of my life of like, how do I get to this entrepreneurial space where I can be creative, where I can create my own things and be collaborative and go to those events where like, hi, I'm Gillean. This is my business. Like I always knew I wanted that.
So talk us through the journey of, you did the 21-day reset.
Yeah.
And then what was evolved? What was birthed after that?
Yeah. So I did that for a while, and then just got like, I got to a point whenever I wanted to like, I was like another round of it. I just was at one point I was like, I just don't really feel like doing it again. It's just like, it's just kind of like, I'm moving on from this. So I moved on from that. And I actually at that time, like at the same time, I actually learned how to do TV. So I was at a nutrition event, and a dietitian that I know that does TV was there, and I was like asking her all the things like, how do I do this? I really want to do TV. And she gave me some tips. And then a couple of weeks later, she was like, hey, I have a segment that I can't do. Like the producer's asking me, but I'm going to be out of town. Do you want it? And I literally like remember like jumping up and down, so excited. I like could not believe that I was going to do this. And I remember it was on the macro diet. So I ended up going, it was locally at ABC. And it was my first segment. Actually, it's a super funny story because Eric, my husband, went with me to like videotape behind the scenes and get over. This is pre-kid. So like we could leave early one morning and like go together. We get to the studio and realize that he forgot like the whole cooler of food that I had. We had to, I remember like literally like looking at him and being like in my head, I was like, I can either kill him. Option number one. Option number two is like find a solution to this. I was like, okay, can I do option number two? Let's do it. Yeah. So we like, luckily we were super early because I was paranoid. So we had like 30 minutes. So we like go in, it's like 7 a.m. We go into Walmart. We both grab like a cart, and I like had texted him a list. Like, here's, you get this stuff, I get this stuff. And we grab all the stuff at Walmart. We're like going to there's one checkout person, right? Cause it's like so early, and she's a trainee, and I have all this produce, and she's like looking at everything, and she's like typing in the numbers, like looking through I was like, I'm so sorry. Can I please ask your manager to come over here? Like, I do not have time for this. So we wrapped that up. I like got to the studio right in time, and like, I don't even know how I think it blacked out, but I did the segment.
gosh.
That was my first TV segment.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Eric. Every time I tell the story, he's always just like, ugh,
I
feel
can-
so bad.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What were some of those tips that you got from?
Yeah, and you know what? It's actually stuff that I share in my mentorship, which is so
Okay.
easy to get on TV.
Yeah.
It's actually not that hard. You literally can find a producer's email address on their website
Yeah.
and you write them an email, a pitch, right? Of course, there's little things you can do to stand out, but there's so many ways to do it. So producers are looking for TV segments all the time. They need to fill content. So I think my biggest, like the things that I remember her telling me is like find their email address online, send them an email about an idea that is timely, like right now, not something that you could do any time of the year, something that is like very specific to the holidays or to a date on the calendar, and follow up times a million because they usually do not respond to the first time. So follow up and then you'll get land that spot. So it's still something that is still true to this day. Like that's still what I share with mentees to do to get on TV is make that connection. And then once you're in there, you show up on time, you're professional, you deliver an amazing segment, you leave gifts for them, whatever food or things you brought, and they're going to have you back next time, like easy, you know, and it just starts to snowball from there. So,
okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So when you did that ABC, it was ABC, right?
Yes, it was ABC.
Yeah. So what did that then?
So that just gave me an opportunity because now I could do TV. I could pitch other producers and be like, here's a link to my segment I did. So that's what I did. I started to pitch other stations. And actually Fox is one that I ended up doing a lot. I would almost go like twice a month and it was on the weekends. Again, no kids at that time. So I could go on a Saturday and go do it. And I did it for like 2 years totally for free. I had no idea how brand partnerships worked. I think I've done like maybe one free segment in the last 5 years, like where I'm not being paid by a brand for it. But I had no idea. So I would, pay for all the food, do the whole display, come up with all my talking points and everything, literally not get paid for a single dime of my time doing that.
Because you're just thinking like you're building your portfolio, you're building.
Yeah. I mean, I really shouldn't have done it for 2 years like that. Like, do not have to do it that for that long. Maybe like 3 segments, but I didn't know. I just loved it. I loved being on TV. I love being in front of the camera. So so I did that for like 2 years. And then I actually was on like a listserv for dietitians, local dietitians. And someone said, hey, we're looking for dietitians that do TV. And I responded, and it happened to be someone that is kind of in the brand world. So they created a business where they were connecting food brands with dietitians to do TV. And that's where like, oh, you can get paid for this? No way. And it was a really great experience. I learned a ton from her, just like do's, don'ts. I had total failures. I had times where I actually told the brand, do not pay me. Like I literally didn't even say your name during the segment because it was so stressful, whatever. There's so many things that happen, but now I connect directly to brands myself and I can actually get paid for my expertise and what I'm sharing. And I know I have relationships with producers so that they're like, oh yeah, come on in. Like no problem. Come in and do that segment. So
can you tell us about your first brand deal?
Yeah, I'm trying to think my very, very first one. I think it was my very first one was TV. So, and I remember it being $500, which is very low for a TV segment, but I was just like so excited to do it. I actually remember, okay, you're taking me back. Yeah. I remember calling, okay, so this girl, this lady had said like, hey, I'm looking for dietitians to do TV. I was like, great, I would love to do it. And she's like, let me know what your rates are. And I was like, okay, like, let me.
You didn't have ChatGPT to be like,
no
what
idea.
are the rates?
Yeah. So I called another dietitian that I had actually been a mentor of mine and asked her, and I was like, I don't know, like $100 like to pay for the groceries or something. And she was like, no, you're not doing $100. And she told me like, typically it's about $2,000. That's like an estimate for a segment. But like, because you're brand new and it's your first time, she said, you could do something for like $500 or like $1,000. I was like, okay, I'll do $500. That seems like so much money to ask for this. So it was my first TV segment was $500. I believe it was with Bob's Red Mill.
Okay.
And it was like oatmeal recipes and stuff like that. So it was very different because I worked with her on like creating the script, and I never really worked with the brand. So she was kind of a liaison between the two. But that was my first time like literally getting a check and being like, what? This is so cool. Yeah. And then I worked with her a ton, and eventually she kind of moved on to other things. But yeah, I learned so much from her, and now
that's
I do it myself.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's something I'm hearing a lot in what you're sharing is mentorship is very key.
I cannot get enough of it, and anytime I go through a season of life where I don't have a mastermind group or a coach or something, I feel a little bit lost. I need to bounce ideas off, and I need inspiration from other places where it's really like it's meant to, like, when you are having time in this space, it's meant to be like that. You know,
Yeah.
even meeting with your girlfriends is always great, but like when you get on a call with a coach or like in a mastermind, it's like go time, right? And I love that.
Yes, especially being in community too, where people are they're wanting to be
Yeah.
challenged, to push, to think, creatively and in different ways to say, okay, what's next? Or let's look at this, a little bit differently.
Exactly.
And you have an amazing mentorship program. So
Yes.
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about how that even was developed.
Totally. My business partner, Kristen, and I, she actually was an intern for me. So something, when you become a dietitian, you actually have to do like a year-long internship.
Okay.
So I have had so many interns because they're all looking to get hours.
Yeah.
So she was an intern for me. She came to a TV segment that I did and got like behind the scenes photos and videos and stuff like that. And so we just stayed in touch after that. Like she came for that one segment, got all the content from me, and we just stayed in touch through social. And then a few years later, we were just like, hey, we should go to lunch and just like catch up. In between that time and when we had lunch, she had been doing a lot of writing work. She'd been kind of diving into some media work. She also had a private practice. So at lunch, I remember us just being like, wow, this is like a lot of work. It's very hard, and there's no textbook. No one teaches you how to do this. It's like, we wish we had someone that would like help us. And like a few glasses of wine later, we were like, let's do a webinar, let's do a webinar, whatever. And so we created this totally free webinar for like how to become a media dietitian. And we had 600 people sign up for the call.
Gillean.
Yeah. We were like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, we're like, there is something here.
Uh-huh.
So that was like our first dive into it. And we dabbled. We did like this like 3-day program. We did, different things, but kind of our tried and true, which has always worked, is a 12-week mentorship. So right now we're hosting it 3 times a year, and it's weekly calls. We have guest speakers, and it's really just, it's, you're getting the tips and the strategy to do media work, like the pitches and like contacts and things like that. But as you know, a lot of times in this space, it is the community, the like, hey, it's okay that they ghosted you and did not respond. They're probably gonna do that 10 more times. So like, it's a lot of just like encouragement to keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that there were some big failures. I'm actually, other than forgetting the food on your first TV segment, can you talk about some of those like monumental moments that you feel like were the most epic fail, but actually were a major like area of growth for you?
Well, I mean, the first one I was just thinking of is a TV segment I did for a brand. There were actually 3 brands in it, which is very, like, your mind space is like so full of information that you have to say. And it was for Cinco de Mayo. And I was setting up my whole display like on the side in the studio. And they told me like, hey, like this guy is going to go before you, and then we'll have you go. And I was like, okay, so I'm setting up all my food, which it's a lot of work to prep and make it look all beautiful. And then like last minute, the producer's like, hey, like he's not ready. We have to do you now. And I was like, I remember like they were like wheeling my table out, and I was like scooping my mango sorbet out, like literally like just like trying to do it. So we start to go live, and they do like the little intro, and I had 2 hosts for this one. And I remember the hosts just like looking at me like ghosts. Like they were like, something is not right. And I was like, I have no clue what's going on right now, but you're like live. So I just like keep going. And what happened was the guy that was supposed to go over me, his mic was still hot. So he was talking in the back and they couldn't hear anything I was saying. Anyways, it totally threw me off. And that was actually the segment I did not. It was this like pork tenderloin brand. And I didn't say the name of the product. I was just talking about the recipe, and I was so thrown off. It messed me up. And then I was just like, total disaster. Do not pay me. Like I failed at that.
Oh my God. So they usually pay you after you do the segment.
Yeah, they
right?
do
Like
the segment. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean, I have just so many. I have one that was with Kellogg's, and like did the whole display, took pictures ahead of time, sent it to them, everything looked good.
Yeah.
After we taped, we realized that I had the raisin brand I got was actually Post and not Kellogg.
Oh,
I was like,
shoot.
I had to like literally go back to the studio the next day and redo everything. So lots of failures.
Dang.
I mean, I can think of so many, just like working with difficult brands, like when you didn't say something exactly as they wanted it and they are really upset with you, and you're like trying to appease them, but you're like also like, we're human here. Let's be real,
Yeah.
So,
how does the interview process go? I'm sure it's different with every brand when you're developing these contracts and these agreements, but like, are there opportunities for you to almost interview them to like find red flags of like, oh, are we in alignment here?
Yeah.
Like, what are some of those key
I mean,
things that you
now
look for?
when I first started, I was just like, who am
Yeah, like,
I?
yeah, totally.
Yes. No, yeah, you definitely have like a little more leeway. I mean, it's funny because a lot of stuff is just through email now, so you don't get as much of like being able to feel it out, but you can usually tell through like the deliverables they're asking, like what are they asking for? What's the budget? Are they willing to pay you worth your time? And then like sometimes they'll be like, we're asking for multiple rounds of edits, or we want like, here's the script, and they send it to you and it's like 12 pages. You're like, there's no way this is going to work in a 3-minute segment. So sometimes you do get that insight before you like sign on the dotted line, and you get to either have the conversation to see if they're like going to like meet you in the middle, and if they're not, I usually just still say yes because I still want
Yeah.
like, but you know what you're getting yourself into at least, or you can charge more because of it, you know. But yeah, as I said, I'm a yes person, so I usually end up just like, okay, I can do this. But you know, again, you have the expectation now. This is gonna be like a little more difficult of an opportunity. Like when I do a satellite media tour, so that's like, I actually love them. They're crazy. You usually do 30 to 35 TV and radio segments in a row. So it's with a brand.
Okay.
Like I've done one with Aldi grocery store.
Okay.
And you have your little display. It's usually in a studio space with like, you know, you got the whole crew there, and they have a camera on you, and they're going live to all these different TV segments. So you don't actually see the host, but you're talking to them through the camera.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of those things that like, it is so overly complicated. So when I do one of those, like I got to make sure I'm like really on the same page with the company I'm working with. Otherwise, it's like, that's going to be a disaster. So yeah, there's ones where it's like, oh, what's a social media post? Right. Whatever. I can re-record that, or it'd be a pain, but it's fine. But it's sometimes like something like that, I'm like, let's get on a call and talk through this first.
When you're preparing for some of those bigger opportunities, what are your rituals? What do you do? How do you best prepare to make sure you're like 100% locked in and loaded and ready to give your best?
I am like a planner to a T, like literally planned everything out. My talking points are like, I write them, I rewrite them, I rewrite them, I rewrite them, I highlight them. I am so planned out. I can't just like show up to something unprepared. Even for just like a TV segment with one brand, on my drive to the studio, which is usually downtown, so it's like 30, 40 minutes, I'm like literally just saying it over. I'm just like doing my segment over and over and over again. And I've been doing this for like over a decade now, and I still do it just like that.
Yeah.
So even like with like the display for the food, I set it all up in my house and take a picture of it. So when I get to the studio, because when you get to a studio, you have like the cameraman coming up to you and the producer coming up to you, and like you're not just focused. So I just have to be so planned and prepared, getting there early, like kind of crazy early sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But like, I didn't want to get stuck in traffic,
Totally.
you know? So for me, it's just being so prepared and planned ahead of time, because then I can actually show up confident. I can like have more my personality versus being like thinking of all the things, right? Or like just being rushed. So that helps me.
For sure. I know as you're talking, I'm also thinking about, you know, with our video production agency, we work with so many people that aren't used to being on camera, but they know how important it is being the founder of their company, telling their founder story and showing face more to their audience and to their customers. And what would you say, kind of like big surface level, if someone's like really wanting to step into this, but they are scared as shit?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's so normal. I still get nervous. I got butterflies coming here to do this. Like, it's just like so normal. Like you're just, it is hard to do this. So I think just like knowing that that's normal and that's fine. And I think a lot of times it's just, as much as we try to like be someone else, we just have to be ourselves, right? Everyone wants to hear your personal story. They want to hear your take on it. So instead of like feeling like you have to be someone else, just stepping into like, okay, in the end, gotta be myself. And I think something that has been like really big for me for any project I'm working on, honestly, even before like I post a reel on social media, is like literally like a 10-second check-in, like, okay, what is my intention here? What is my dream? Why am I doing this? And it just really like is like, okay, I can show up. So even I think if you kind of like really go with what your intention is, it feels lighter then. It doesn't feel so heavy anymore. You know?
Totally. And really like, who am I wanting to speak to? Yeah. Like, what is your intention? What is your goal? Like, why are you here, and who are you wanting to speak to?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really, really valuable. I love it. What? Okay. Well,
what's this question?
I know. Well, I'll start here. What shift or risk have you taken that really changed everything for you? What was like a pivotal moment where you're like, oh, damn, we just switched gears in a big direction?
I mean, I think it's investing in mentorship. Like, it's so hard because it's a lot of money. And you're like, oh, it's like, I mean, I'm having the conversations with my husband and it's like, oh, should we use this money for something else? And it's just like, it's always a big ticket. But when I put money on the line, like, I show up. So it makes me like, anytime I have done that, like, I am on the calls. I am listening. I am doing the journal prompts. Like, it just really makes me show up. And every time I've had a big change in my career or even in my life, I can point it back to a moment at a retreat, on a call, something someone said to me. Even like, so a really cool opportunity I got was I was the Ninja Kitchen smoothie bowl sommelier. It was like this PR pitch they were doing for their smoothie bowl maker, right?
So
a blender. So it was this opportunity. You had to apply for it. And I never would have heard about this opportunity if it wasn't for someone that was in a mentorship group with me that like sent like, hey, you should apply for this.
Oh my gosh.
Like, like the fact that like, and it was so cool. It was like 2 months where I like did TV for them, made recipes, like did Facebook Lives with their team. And it really like being able to say that you partner with Ninja Kitchen just like sets you up for credibility as a media dietitian.
Yeah.
And I actually continued working with them for years. I mean, 3 or 4 years doing recipe development. And it was so fun. And I never would have had that if I hadn't invested the money, put my name on the line. Been there and 100% in and had these things come out at the end.
Yeah, no, that's huge. You're very, very good at that. I'm sure there have been some moments where you're like, oh, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. And you even mentioned before, like, you really have to be like very persistent on reaching out. Can you talk about those moments where you feel like you just keep hitting a wall or getting no's, or what that might be, or like in the middle of a breakdown, like if someone is feeling that heavy weight and like, oh, do I just give up?
Right.
What got you through some of those moments, and what's some advice that you would share with others that are like feeling that right now?
I mean, I remember hearing, I can't remember what podcast this was on, but there was some guy that was like very successful and they asked him, what would you say to someone that's like a year into their business and then like it's not working? And his advice was to stay in business. And I think that's what it is like staying consistent and not giving up right away. So in the end, I always think of that of like, okay, even though this is really hard right now, like I'm not giving up on the dream. Like I'm not throwing the towel in. So to get through that, I mean, it's friends. It's calling people like you, calling people like, hey, I need to like vet this out, or I need help with something, or like this is really tough. But I do feel like, especially being a mother, like there's definitely seasons where it's like this isn't working, or I feel overwhelmed, or I feel lost. And so there were those gap times, right, where you like know you're meant for more, but like it's not working. You're trudging through mud right now. But I've had so many times where I've been there and gotten through it that I know it's just a season, right? I'm gonna bounce back. Like it's gonna happen. And so in those times, I really go inward. So it's okay, looking at my morning routine. Am I really waking up, and am I really like journaling, or am I just on my phone? Like, am I really like making time for conversations with friends that I think are going to be really powerful, or am I just like going through my day filling it with all the work stuff, right? So I think whenever I've like really struggled, it's saying it out loud to people that can like coach you through it and help you, and then having time where I'm just by myself to think through what I really want and challenges I have too.
Yeah, that's good. Do your kids watch your segments?
Yes, my kids, especially my oldest Emma, loves to. Actually, I just made a reel with her. Yeah, she is. Like, she literally, we made caramel popcorn the other night.
Oh, I love
and I thought we were just like video like doing it, and I turned the camera on. She's like, okay, so we're gonna make caramel popcorn. Now let me tell you all the ingredients. She grabbed something. What did she grab? Oh, she's like, it's like a half cup of butter. I know it's a lot, but trust me, it's so good. And I was just like, where do you get this from?
Like, oh yeah, it's me.
Yeah. So I think, and Bryn for sure, like I think she's more like quiet. I don't think she would ever want to do something like I do, but
she'll operate the camera.
Yeah.
She'll be behind the scenes,
totally.
producing the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know Cooper yet. He's still just a little ball of fun. I'm not sure what he'll be doing. He's just funny right now, but they all will participate when I'm like, hey, can I get like a video of you trying this? Or I did have like one reel or one recipe I was going to make. It was this like hidden veggie pasta, and I ended up not sharing it because I like did the video of them, and they were all like, "Bleh," like,
oh my gosh.
gross. I was like, okay, I guess it's. I mean, I thought it was fine, but like, I
Yeah.
guess kids like aren't gonna be into it. So
No, totally.
but
That's
okay.
really funny. Oh my gosh. Well, you mentioned going to studios and like doing bigger productions
Mhm.
for some of your media segments. And then you also mentioned doing some at home. Can you talk us through like maybe some tips on working with a production team
Sure, yeah.
versus, you know, doing it more on your own?
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather work with a production team because like you have to wear all the hats, as
Right.
you know, when
Yeah.
you're doing, I mean, you're the sound, you're the lights, you're the camera, you're the talent, you're the food display. Like the one thing I like about a satellite media tour when I go and it's like, it's with a whole team, like they have a food stylist. Like I'm not prepping anything. That's so nice. So I love working with a team because you have experts that are in their zones of genius. And so you're just doing what you're really good at. Like I just want to show up and talk on camera. That's what I do
Yes.
best, you know? So I love working with a production team. And I think the tip there is just to be really collaborative and open and take their feedback. And when I'm doing something like that and they're like, hey, can you change this or not say this or whatever, it's you can't like mull in it or spiral. You got to just like do it and move on, you know?
Okay.
I also think providing guidance and advice to them. Sometimes we feel like we just have to do whatever they're saying because they are the experts in that space. But sometimes I'll like look at a script for something. I'm like, I would never say it like this, or this sounds kind of funny, or like this, you know, you have this food here, but it looks like this part's kind of melting. Should we like, you know, just I think sometimes like it's helpful when you provide extra value and guidance to them too. So when you're doing it on your own, like I do love not like I can literally wear my slippers
Yeah.
and do a TV
No one
segment.
even knows.
Yeah, and I can like before I press like the zoom on, I can just be like really practicing. Like I mentioned, when you go to a studio, you're like also like on already. You're talking to them, they're setting stuff up. When you're at home, you can just literally be like, okay, what are my lines? You can sneak a little sticky note right here if you need to say something, you know. So there is some of that, but yeah, setting it all up and being in charge of all the tech stuff is just not my jam. I don't
No,
do that. Yeah.
it's so much. I know our mutual friend Danielle, who's in fitness, and she
Yeah.
does a lot of content in fitness. We were talking about like how when you're doing it on your own and a camera overheats or it doesn't like it cuts off or the audio's off and you go through this whole like 30-minute segment or whatever it is, and then you realize, oh, none of it was recorded. You can't hear any of it. That's the worst feeling.
Literally the
on
worst.
earth.
I know. I have just like one of those like for like when I do like video like reels for brands, it just like plugs into my phone, and I cannot tell you the amount of times that I like forgot to turn on the little mini mic and I'm like,
Oh gosh.
oh, it just kills you.
Oh,
It just kills you. But I mean, yeah, whatever, it happens.
It happens. Okay, wait, on that note, are there any like tools or things that you have at home that are like staples? Like,
Yeah.
you've got to use these, or if you haven't heard of this, go check it out. What are some tools that you use at home for your DIY type?
I mean, for all my recording, you got to just have like the newest iPhone. I'm like going to go get the latest one because they have a better face
Yes.
selfie camera, whatever. And I'm like, I need that because a lot of times I would do the other camera because it's looks better, but it's way more like, oh, you'll record something like, oh my gosh, my head was cut off or half of it. So I think I just use my iPhone for everything. Having like a little lavalier mic, you know, just if you have a good camera, good natural lighting, and a good audio, like, I mean, I'm speaking to the choir here.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
for me, those are like the essentials. I use CapCut for all my editing. I've also used InShot before too. It's very user friendly. I can just do it right on my phone. I've made like full on like 6-minute training videos for Ninja appliances and using CapCut, and it's just so easy to use. So
Yeah.
I use that, and then I always have like a tripod for my phone plus an overhead tripod. So for like recipes and stuff, like having that, or like if you're doing stuff with your hands, preparing things, like those are just essential. So
Yes.
yeah.
I love it. So good. Okay, let's talk a little bit about family life.
Okay.
Some more. So what's some advice that you would give to a career focused person who also is wanting to start a family?
Yeah.
What did that look like for you when you guys were starting your family, but you also were so passionate and driven about pursuing your career?
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's like you almost just have to like go into the fire.
Yeah.
But I will say, so something for us, we have family close by, so that is such a blessing. So I have learned that I am actually very bad about asking for help, but I like luckily have a mother-in-law and a mom that are just like, we are coming to help.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
they're
okay,
first
thank you.
to help.
Like literally this morning I posted this reel of like Eric's been out of town traveling for the last 5 days, and I'm like we're surviving, but like I'm like we're so thin. We're like barely there. Like we have no tissues. We have like we have no food. Like everything is like he just needs to come home tonight because it's like we're so close to like really falling apart. But we're surviving. We're doing so good. And my mother-in-law saw it and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to Costco. Let me get some stuff for you." I was like, "You're literally the best. I love you so much." So I mean, I really do. I've always relied on family to help. I travel a lot for opportunities, and so they're always there to give a helping hand. But if that's not something that you have access to, even having like your little village of friends and family, they can chip in whenever and support you in any ways. And a lot of times a lot of times you think like if this thing is going to happen that I have to follow like whatever's put in front of me. But I always look at something, say it's just like a trip that's coming up and I'm like, oh, they want me to be there on Tuesday and leave on Friday. But like, that's a long time. What if I actually flew out super early Wednesday morning and came home like super late Thursday night and just like, that's what works for me and tell them that's all I can do. So I think a lot of times in those situations, you have to just like, before you just like say yes, and this is the way it has to be, like, how can I make this work for me? Or like someone that wants to meet up with you for a coffee date, but it's like an hour away. Hey, love you, would love to meet up with you. Can we actually do a virtual coffee date? Like, let's just jump on a Zoom, you know?
Totally.
So I think that helps to be like, how can I fit this in and still make my family a priority and still pursue these dreams?
For sure. And that looks different for everybody.
Totally.
Like you just have to kind of figure out what feels right for you.
Exactly.
And where you can get support, whether it's even like with more support on the work side or more support on the family side, or, you know, different seasons where you lean into those a little bit more. Yeah, that's awesome. What are some other things that you've learned as a working mom of 3?
Oh my gosh, it's total chaos, but I love it. Oh my gosh, it's just so much. Like I live by my calendar, like everything's in the calendar, like hot lunch is in the calendar, like choir, basketball, all the things are like in the calendar.
Does it a family like shared calendar? Like is everyone using the calendar as much?
No,
as
so Eric and I have our own, but we just like send invites to each other, you know, so we just like invite, like, hey, or like, hey, we'll invite each other, like it'll just be like Jill, like going to an event or something. I'll just like put on like send him an invite too, just so he has it too. So live by my calendar, like keep everything going. I'm very like, I'm just a white SUV mom, you know. I am like so clean and organized. I remember I was getting my makeup done by one of our friends, Azure, and she was like, you should do a video and like show like you're like the behind the scenes of like your house, like your messy kitchen. I was like, it's not messy. Like I do not have a messy kitchen. I don't know what to tell you. It is so spick and span. I like literally clean off the counters every single night. Like it's just like that's just how I am. So I just run a really tight ship where we have such a routine with our family. Like the kids know, like literally alarms go off at 6:20. Get your clothes are laid on the floor. Put your clothes on, brush your teeth, do your hair, make your bed. Like I will be making breakfast downstairs. Like it's very like, and that doesn't mean sometimes I'd be like, did you brush your teeth? Go back upstairs. Like, you know, it's not always perfect, but like they know what to expect. And same thing, like when they get home from school, it's like, the girls have 30 minutes to just like veg. You can watch your shows, you can have a snack, whatever you want. Then it's like homework, and then it's dinner time, and then it's bath, and then it's then it's book, and then it's we'll watch a movie or something at night and have a treat. Like that's kind of like it's so routine. It's probably like very like mundane to them at sometimes, but it keeps it like even like with Eric being out of town these last few days, like it's they know what to expect. There's no craziness. It's just very like, this is the structure, and so it helps us stay on track.
Yeah, they thrive in that routine.
Totally, yeah. And I do too. Like I need it for my sanity.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more, because we did talk about your media mentorship program, but I know you also have a retreat coming up.
Okay, so it's our first time doing this.
Hey,
I'm so excited, but I'm also so nervous and scared because like, you know, like you've never done it before, right? So this is our business bestie retreat. So typically we mentor dietitians, but the business bestie retreat is really open to anybody, just female entrepreneurs, or honestly any woman that is working in a working space and looking for inspiration and looking for some community and connection. So as I have said, I have gone to so many retreats and events. And so I really wanted to just like bring it back to my community because I've gained so much from it. So it's going to be a really just like bougie, vibey weekend in Scottsdale. And I was shocked. We like had speaker ideas and we're like, oh, like they're probably not going to say yes. But like we literally every one of them said yes to come. So I love our speak. I know. It's fun. So actually, again, Lindsay is the one that's going to be speaking at our retreat from Powerhouse Women. And It's so funny. She's like, you emailed me, but I could tell you were like expecting I was going to say no. Cause I was just like,
God.
hey, like love for you to speak, but also totally like no big deal if you can't. Like, it's probably a bad idea. Just like whatever. I don't know. So it's just nerve wracking when you've never done something before, So, but we have amazing speakers, a beautiful Airbnb that's like so vibey and cool, and lots of little secrets of like things I'm pulling from other retreats and events that I have been at that were just so impactful for me. So a great, lovely dinner. We're getting brands to sponsor a lot of it, so it helps us lower the ticket price for everybody. So it's gonna be amazing. And we have it's all on expertwithinfluence.com, so we have all the info on there for our retreat and our mentorship too.
Perfect. Awesome. So good. I've got one last question for you to kind of wrap things up. And this is my favorite question. This is our letter to future makers. If a young creative or entrepreneur found this podcast 10 years from now, what is one piece of advice that you would want them to take from you?
Ooh. The first thing that comes to mind is that your thoughts create your reality. I mean, that's something I'm
Amen. Can you say it again?
Yeah, your thoughts create your reality.
Yes.
Like literally, my husband is at this trip. It's been very long, and it's a new job, so he's very excited about it. But he's like, I'm ready to get home, and I was just like, you know what? Tomorrow, I'll just like wake up and like be excited about it. Like just wake up and like go get a coffee because like you don't have any kids, but like just change, like don't be like I'm guilty from being gone. I miss home. Like I want to wash my clothes. Like what if you just like woke up and you just thought like actually this is like great. I'm so excited to be here.
Like even if you have to start like faking it,
totally.
Like lie to yourself even to like say no, actually yes.
Yeah,
this is shifting my perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's so many times where I'm like this is hard or I'm really nervous for this or like whatever, and it's just like what if I just played around with not being upset about it or nervous or overwhelmed, and it's like it literally takes a split second. And I think that in your career, like in your life, but especially in business as an entrepreneur, like we can get so stuck in our heads, we can spiral so often. So it's just like stopping the tracks and be like what if I just changed it like this? And it literally sets you on a different track.
Yeah. Are there some like tools that help you get that shift in perspective?
I mean, I do think like that quiet time by myself, like it really sets the tone for the day where I'm like, coming downstairs and having my coffee and like, it really is like as little things come up throughout the day, you're like thinking about like what you first like read or wrote that morning. So I feel like that helps me pull myself back. But I literally will just catch myself where I'm like, if I'm feeling down, I'm like, it'll just be like your mind is going in this direction, and I will just be like, wait, hold on, what am I doing here? The same goes with like being jealous or competitive with other people, because I'll feel that way too. And it's just like you can catch yourself if you make a statement like, I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to be a jealous competitive person. I don't want to be someone overwhelmed or like negative today. You will catch yourself because it's like a goal that you have. So it's just I'll realize it and I'm just like let's just switch that for a moment.
Totally.
And it takes 2 seconds
For sure.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a time that I felt almost a year ago where I feel like I caught myself a lot having conversations with friends and just out there, and the language and how I would talk about things was very much in like a lack mentality.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm lacking. And then a friend of mine gave me this book that was all about like attracting abundance.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, what a soft gesture of saying you need to change your language.
Wait,
in order
was it
to
creating?
It's the purple book.
Yes,
I'm sure
I literally. That's my. Wait, we have put that in the show notes.
Yeah,
essential.
It is. It's the purple book. It's attracting abundance or something.
Creating something. Yeah.
Creating. Yeah. It's really around like finances and stuff too. But it's so true in like a general perspective. It's like if you're continually putting out this like narrative that's lack and fear, and you're gonna attract more of that into your life.
Yeah.
But if you start to shift that narrative and that perspective and that language, you're going to start to see, holy shit, there's so much more abundance coming in because of that.
Yeah. And I think once you like put it into action and then you see a result from it, you're like, oh my gosh, keep going.
It's working.
Like, oh my God.
I am here to receive.
Yes. You're just like, okay, here we go. And it's like one of those things that like starts to snowball. And sometimes you'll get stuck in a rut where you like lost it for a little bit and you have to, it takes time, but you have to like, okay, get back to where I was. And honestly, that book is one that I have read 12 million times. I have to read like almost a page at a time and then like absorb it because it's like
Totally. It's a
so
lot.
heavy, but it's so good.
It's so good. And what I also love about that book is there's like almost like workshop like practices and like it's a workbook that you can actually put into action too. So
yeah, it's so good.
yeah, we'll put that in the show notes for sure. And also to piggyback off of that, the importance of getting yourself in a room and in a community that can help hold you accountable when you're in those moments, which you do with your mentorship.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's just, it's a lot of the opportunities and stuff I have now are because like 10 years ago, I like did it. I did the hard thing. I was in the rooms where I didn't know anybody. I went to the events where I was like, oh, I really want this. And I'm like not there. And like, there's all those things where like, you just have to put yourself out there and then you start to see it down the road. But a lot of times people just don't ever do that first step. Yeah, that's where you get kind of lost in it.
Yep, totally. You got to take that first step. Are there any other resources, books, podcasts, anything that's really filling your cup right now that you would want to share?
Ooh, I mean, that's a great question. That purple book is the one that I'm reading right now. I also like the is it Brianna Weiss, The Pivot Year or whatever?
Okay,
that book. Okay, it's just like a really short daily read, and it's like 360 days. And so if you just want like a really short paragraph to read every day, I love that one. Okay. I also love, I haven't actually read it in a while, but I was really big in money mindset. That was something I was really working on and still do to this day. But is it The Secret Life of a Millionaire by Eric Tolle? That one is another really good book that I always recommend. Oh, and The Big Leap. The Big Leap was another book. That's actually the book that I gift to all of our mentees. We always give them a book. I always do The Big Leap, and because it's all about finding your zone of genius, like really what you want to focus on in your life. And then my business partner Kristen always gives them You Are a Badass at Making Money, and that's also it's a good read. It's funny. She's an amazing writer. So those are a couple of my favorites.
Good.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you're kind of in a creative slump or you really need like a good dose of inspiration, where do you go?
I have to it's got to be like a vacation or something, or like a trip up north. Like my parents and my in-laws have cabins in northern Arizona. And it's just, I got to get away from the day to day. I cannot do it because my mind, as you know, I'm cleaning the counters, I'm doing the laundry. Like it's just always on my mind. So if I'm in a space where those are still lists that I'm trying to work through, I don't have the ability to have the creative juices, so being able to step away from that, even like going to like a coffee shop for a work day or something like that, where it's a totally different environment, something vibey, like global ambassador or something, the environment is really what I have to do to get creative.
Yes, I love that. Yeah. Okay, tell us again where we can find you and all of the things.
My Instagram is @it's Gillean, and Gillean is spelled kind of funny. It's Gillean. I actually only know one other person who I'm named after is spelled the same way. And there's actually a Mount Gillean in Scotland, so I think that's where her parents got it from. Unique spelling. And then Expert with Influence is our media business, so you can go there. And then I also have a dinner resource called What's for Dinner Club. So if you're looking for weekly dinner recipe meal plans, you can get that there.
It's incredible. You've got to tap into the What's for Dinner Club.
It's a good one. It was like, I'm just like so sick of making these meals for everybody and I don't want to eat the same thing. So I mostly created for myself, but also I was like, here, you guys probably want this too.
That's the best thing though. Well, thank you so much for your time, for being on the show, and for sharing all your goodness with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You guys are the best and I see such a bright future for you. So I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Thanks, Gillean.